Okay. Anne Yost. Hello, Anne. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from California,
Okay. Well, we're in California.
Napa,
Okay. Nice.
wine country.
Yes, yes. Okay, you said your question is your greatest wound is the key to your niche. At my age, I'm not sure which wound is the greatest. Lots to choose from. Any thoughts? Whew, do you know who Jeffrey Van Dyke is?
I've heard you talk about them in workshops.
He's the person on this I would most recommend
Okay.
reaching out to such because it's such a big one. Um, are those wounds like all over the place? Is the kind of different work you're wanting to do all over the place, or is there a kind of general theme to it?
Well, I retired from a 30 plus year career with the US Forest Service a few years before the pandemic. And I had fully intended that I was going to do environmental consulting and actually did some, but there was a family emergency with my daughter, and I ended up moving to Oregon and dealing with that, and then the pandemic. And it was during that time I was just really drawn to get my life coach certification and kind of switch gears because I just saw such a need during that time that people were really struggling. And because I had gone through kind of a major life transition and a lot of hardship, kind of a dark night of the soul during my whole transition, I wanted to be able to help people do the same, find their way out. And so, yeah, I have a lifetime of experiences and a lot of, to hell and back stories, but probably the one that at least, drove me to want to help others and to do the life coaching was this transition from um, kind of a late in life transition into finding, kind of my own power and meaning and healing also from some of those wounds and the wounds that my daughter went through. So yeah, there's a lot there to draw from. I tend to have been working with women who are sort of in what I call the third act, who maybe have given their power away in various ways in relationships and now are really coming into their own and wanting to make meaning and contribute in that third act, and they're feeling kind of lost and stuck. And so I mean, I
That
guess
sounds,
that's my thing. I'm
that
sorry, you.
sounds beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful. It sounds like a great beginning. I would just keep going and deep diving into that direction. And I would do the drawing exercise
Yeah.
of drawing out, what's the situation they're in now, drawing out what is it that they're dreaming of. And, take your time, give yourself a week, do a bunch of different versions of it. But I think that's more than good enough to get started. And this is something I would say to everybody is with niching, I have the 70% rule. And the 70% rule is this. If it's 70% clear, just start doing stuff. The rest of the clarity will come as you go. The big mistake people make is sometimes it's not quite clear enough. It's not quite clear enough. So they never begin. They never put anything out. But most of that remaining 30% is filled up with the feedback of working with people real time and just noticing who you like to work with and who you don't, what you want to help them with, what you don't want to help them with. And then also for those of you struggling with the whole ideal client thing, if you go to marketingforhippies.com/webinars, I've got a whole webinar around the ideal client thing. And there's that. And if you go to marketingforhippies.com/puttering prep, I've got some of my best exercises around ideal client, which are often helpful around this stuff. So I think you're on track. You're doing great.
Thanks.